Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Maharaj, Dhanavad Pranam.
Hare Krishna, who is this?
This is Gaur Gopal Das.
Yes, Gopal Prabhu.
Gaur Gopal Das. Hare Krishna.
Gaur Gopal Prabhu. Thank you, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. Good to see you. Good to see you, Maharaj.
Nice to see you.
Hare Krishna is Grace Prabhu.
Hey, Sriman Gopal Prabhu, thank you very much for being here.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
We appreciate it. Thank you. We'll wait till.
Happy Nishan Chaturdashi.
Same to you, Prabhuji. So we're just waiting, I think, about 3 minutes more. Hopefully, maybe some sharing information on all the major platforms. Hopefully, devotees will join soon.
Hare Krishna. Kahana Gaura Khan
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes, Maharaj, the time I request for is already exhausted, so I'm coming back to you. I'm chatting with so many devotees, hoping they will join soon, but I wouldn't know what's your disposition.
Yeah, I mean, we can start.
Okay, very good. So you're welcome, Maharaj. You can go ahead.
All right. Again, to Miranda Sagan, and also like I asked, so I'm going to spy. Say, Guru Bena. Sucheta Manam is time, stop a time getting good. But I'm rope and Kadamaya, but that's I'm on Vision Paraka, some say, what was it? The dance, downstairs, Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, Sri Advaita Gadadhara, Sri Gaura Bhakti. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. So, I'm glad to be part of this auspicious forum, auspicious occasion of Narasimha Chaturdasi. I just finished giving a class here in Mayapur to some visiting guests, students who had come for this festival, and I'm happy to be here to hang out with you guys to share something about this auspicious occasion. So, just to have a little bit of a background information. We can't talk of Narasimha without talking about Prahlada, because Prahlada is the Bhagavad devotee, is the Mahabhagavad devotee that invoked the presence of Lord Narasimha to be able to manifest himself to rescue Prahlada from the predicament that he was facing right from his father. And essentially, Prahlada's past life is a little bit amazing. And we do understand that Hiranyakasipu, Prahlada's father, is an evolutionary trend from the incarnations of Jai and Vijay, the doorkeepers in Vaikuntha. So Lord Vishnu had killed Hiranyaksha. Hiranyaksha is the direct brother of Hiranyakasipu. So Hiranyakasipu has been nursing enmity against Lord Vishnu. And Hiranyakasipu at the time, he was the best of terrorists. These days, people are talking about terrorism, and people seem to be disgusted with terrorism, even in Western countries. But terrorism is not something new. It's not something that is just taking place in Kali Yuga or within the recent time. Terrorism is as old as the universal history. So, Hiranyakasipu, he was terrorizing the whole universe. And the demons were being, the demigods were being harassed. And he was so powerful that he would chase even demigods away from their offices, from their positions. So his wife was pregnant, Kayadu, and he had gone into the forest to seek for powers, seek for mystic powers, powers that will make him invisible from Lord Brahma. But he didn't only seek for powers to make him invisible, but he performed, a heavy duty austerities. So these days, people don't have the strength for austerities, and Hiranyakasipu had a lot of potentials, a lot of austerity, a lot of powers, a lot of perseverance for austerities. It's mentioned in the Bhagavatam that he performed austerities so much so that his body could not even be seen anymore. His body was overtaken by anthill. So when Lord Brahma came to respond to his to Hiranyakasipu's petitions, he couldn't really see Hiranyakasipu's physical body. He has to pour some type of liquid that he brought to be able to revive Hiranyakasipu's body. All of the body was just being eaten away by ants. And at that time that he was performing these austerities is why the demigods had, headed by Indra, had captured or had abducted his wife, because the demigods were afraid that Hiranyakasipu has dealt with them so badly, and the wife is pregnant. So who knows the fate of the child? A demon, such as Hiranyakasipu, could produce another great demon. So they went to seize, they went to capture Kayadu, and as they had taken Kayadu, they were taking Kayadu away. Narada Muni intervened. Narada Muni told demigods that, look, this child that this lady is carrying in her womb is a Mahabhagavat. And because he's a Mahabhagavat, you don't have any reason to fear about the child. Similarly, when the demigods heard about Narada Muni's message, they circumambulated Kayadu, and they left her. So Narada Muni took Kayadu, pregnant Kayadu, to his ashram, and there he was giving instructions to Prahlad in the womb. So this is a vivid example to be able to highlight the fact that learning actually begins in the womb. And so Prahlad learned devotional service when he was in the womb of his mother. And when Hiranyakasipu returned from his austerities, that was when Kayadu decided to give birth, because she wanted to give birth when the husband was dead. So Kayadu gave birth, and when the child was up to school age, they sent Gurukul age. Hiranyakasipu sent him to Ananda and Amanka's school. These are the children of Sukracharya, the priest of the demons. Sukracharya, we have seen, read from the Bhagavatam, how he was so powerful that he could resuscitate. He had the power to resuscitate the dead. He has the power to bring back someone who is dead to life. Those type of powers, if someone exhibits them these days, people will call him God. But Sukracharya never claimed to be God. So Anandanamaka, the school of Anandanamaka was pretty close to Hiranyakasipu's house. And so he sent Prahlad, he was preparing Prahlad for the future, for politics. Politics in the sense that in politics, a proper mention in one of the purpose in chapter, or purpose of Canto 7, chapter 5. Proper mention one of the purpose that politics means one has to be able to distinguish between his enemies and his friends. The whole idea of politics is that you create some divisions. This is my enemy, and this is my friend. In other words, it helps to facilitate phenomenological mindset. By phenomenological mindset, I'm referring to Aswara Baba. And so politics enables people to be associated with camps. And then we are able to see this is part of this. I'm from this camp, and he's my enemy. She's my enemy. This is not my friend, and he's my friend. So it just a show of distinction that is based on a variety of principles. But the whole thing is that we are able to form a clique based on identity, and we are able to do things together based on satisfying our whims and caprices. And so this is the same principle of politics in a modern era. And Lord Krishna mentioned in the Gita how people with this phenomenological mindset, their whole characteristics is based on a principle or the principles of Aham Bhogi, I'm the enjoyer, Siddham, I'm powerful, Balawan Sukhi. I'm perfect, Balawan Sukhi, I'm powerful. We find this again very predominant in our modern culture. So the ancient system is again very much pervasive in a modern day system, modern mindset. And so the demigods have to accuse themselves from the abduction of Kayadu, and then Narada Muni had to take care of her. And with the instructions that Narada Muni gave to Prahlad in the womb, that was how Prahlad became a perfected soul. Now, let's go quickly before in Prahlad's previous slide. He was the fifth child of a Brahmin called Vasu Sharma. And Vasu Sharma was very expert in Vedic rituals. Out of the 5 children, it was Prahlad that strayed from the path of Brahmanical culture. He became attracted to a prostitute. And one day, himself and the prostitute, they had some type of altercation, some type of argument, and they were together, but they couldn't really do anything. When there's argument, sex partners couldn't really functionalize the games. So that day, they had unintentionally fasted from Narasimha Chaturdas. In fact, in the scriptures, I think in the Hare Bhakti Vilas, it's mentioned how Prahlad even made some inquiry from Lord Narasimhadeva that, how come that I become a devotee? How did I attain this great fortune when my father is a big demon? So, Hiranyakasipu, Lord Narasimhadeva explained to him that, this is what happened in the past life. This is what you did. You strayed from the path of Brahmanical culture. and then but somehow or other you got my mercy. You fasted. You and your girlfriend, you were fighting. You had some altercation, and that day the both of you fasted. You were not happy with yourself. You're not happy with each other. So the both of you fasted. When you're upset, hunger is not there. You are actually when we're hungry, it means that we're in a good mood. So, Narasimhadeva explained to Prahlada about all of this scenario, how he had gotten the merit to become such a Mahabhagavad. So we see that those people who fasted, who are fasting today, they have a great chance of accruing lots and lots of punya, Krishna punya, lots and lots of high pious merit. Because today it's a very special day, and we'll find in the scriptures someone who has fasted on this day and progressed spiritually in their lives. And so today is supposed to be a fasting till dusk or something like that. And those who have the strength are encouraged to be able to do the needful, because it's a very auspicious day. So then in the next life, Prahlad had a chance to become what he became, a Mahabhagavad. And this is very important for us, because in some cases, sometimes people tend to think that people become very advanced in spiritual life by chance. Yeah, it might be true, but in the case of Prahlad, he had a lot of carryover from previous life. And with many people also, they have a lot of carryover from the previous life. I mean, it's like we'll find that we're celebrating one of these families' birthday here, and everybody knows that he appeared on the Ekadasi, and every of his birthday, I mean, is similar auspicious days that he will appear. And so everybody knows that this is not an ordinary person, even from how he joined the movement. I mean, it just shows that this is not an ordinary person. So for most people, their spiritual advancement has been a cumulative event, a cumulative fact. And so when we appreciate what people have been able to attain, we also have that type of a mercy from the Lord, because if we appreciate what others have, then the Lord also becomes merciful of us. And Yarankasipu Prahlad, their leader, is so amazing that anyone who reads the Bhagavatam concerning Prahlad and Yarankasipu will develop so much of strong faith in devotional life. Because at some point in time, when Prahlad was under the tutorship of Nanda and Amaka, I remember on one occasion he came back, and Hiranyakasipu asked him the best thing that he had learned from school. And imagine 5 years old boy, he told Hiranyakasipu that he should he should become a Vanaprastha. He said his life, by dint of his life, he is doomed, because his so-called family life, where he thinks that he's enjoying, it's a disaster. And so ultimately, it's suggested to him he should take the Bonaparte. He should go to the forest. And so Hiranyakasipu was, terribly angry. Now, important thing is that when Prahlada was in school, he was boldly preaching, and he never cared about the consequences of his activities. Of course, when one becomes very advanced in spiritual life, he attains abhaya, fearlessness. And one of the reasons why church fearlessness necessitates advancement is that they do things without having any reservation. They just want to please the Lord. They just want to please Narayan. They want to please the Vishnu. And the major option becomes how to be able to act in such ways that the conditioned soul will take to Krishna consciousness. So that was Prahlada's position when he was in the Gurukul of Sukracharya's kids. So the abuse that he received from his father, attempts of murder. Sometimes people think they're not being well treated by their parents. And when they read the story of Prahlada, they say, what? How could this be? But although Prahlada was really heavily abused, and attempts on his life by his father could just be unimaginable. But you know what? He had that purity of forgiveness. He had that purity that even when Lord Narasimhadeva appeared and he was making fervent prayers, he was praying for his father. Can you imagine? I don't think I have that type of power to pray for my father. I wanted to give me. So we see the position of Prahlada, how he had invoked the presence of Lord Narasimhadeva. Now, when Prahlada was being treated, being heavily abused by his father, and he was unflinchingly and deeply devoted to Lord Vishnu, always chanting Vishnu's names, Krishna's names, or Narayan's name. It really bothered the king, bothered Hiranyakasipu, because after treating him, he ordered for Prahlada to be killed, and they tried to kill him, and they couldn't succeed killing him. They threw him under the foot of the elephant, and still, he came out alive. They threw him over a cliff. They did all sorts of things to try to annihilate him. This is where the concept of Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, actually sways, comes to play. So essentially, when everything else was tried on him, when his life, Hiranyakasipu tried to take away his life. And keep in mind, although Hiranyakasipu was so powerful, but he was not the giver of life. It is only the giver of life who could take life. And it is only Krishna who is the giver of life who could actually take life. And so Hiranyakasipu, although he was very powerful, terrorizing everyone, chasing away the demigods and conquering the demigods and all the stuff, still he couldn't really kill Prahlada. And so that gives us some sense of hope that if we are treading on the path of devotion, we may experience so many difficulties, but those difficulties does not preclude the fact that the Lord is there to protect us. And so many amazing things happen in Prahlada's life that could really consolidate more and fortify our faith in the Lord, because people generally, they don't suffer to that degree, they're not tortured to that degree and survive. And so, what traditionally happens is that Hiranyakasipu was wondering where he got his power. I remember one time he asked Prahlad, where did you get your power? And Prahlad said, the same place you got yours. And he was making all of these fervent prayers. And then he asked, where is this your Lord? He said, this is everywhere. And then Hiranyakasipu pointed the pillar and said, you mean it's also inside this pillar? And Prahlad said, yeah, of course, yes. And then from there, the pillar cracked and Lord Narasimhadeva appeared. So the Lord fulfills the desire of the devotee, the pure devotee. And it is important for us to be able to learn the hard lessons of this very Leela. First of all, the teachings of Prahlad basically condemn material happiness. The teachings of Prahlad do not align with the modern and old system of completely becoming attached to one's family life. Prahlad's teachings, although he was sharing those important points with his mates, his schoolmates, his classmates, which were actually meant for adults or matured persons. But then they were very instructive for all and sundry. In the sense that we have seen how, again, in the Bhagavatam, the 7th canto, chapter 5 there, one of the texts, Prahlada had referred family life to undercook, a blind well. Now for a well, when there is water, is useful. But if there is no water in a well, it becomes very challenging to be able to appreciate the well because it becomes a death trap. And so our material existence is also like a death trap. Without Krishna consciousness, everything becomes like a death trap on this very in this material universe. And so Prahlad's instructions to us is that we have to take to Krishna consciousness now. We should not wait. We should not think that we are still young. Kumara Acharapati. We should not think that we are still young. And if we even think that we are young, Prahlad said, he told his classmates, taking to spiritual life, devotional life, to start right now. That means at the age of 5 or even less. Prahlad, he said that right when he was in the womb. So it is important for us to learn how to become consolidated in our faith, become determined in the execution of devotional service in the face of difficulties. Prahlad, who could imagine his difficulties compared to that of Prahlad? So today is a very auspicious day because the Lord's incarnation, who chases after terrorists and child abusers, has appeared to be able to come to the rescue. And so we entrust challenges, problems in the care of Lord Narasimhadeva, and just like he protected Prahlad, he will be able to give us that needed protection to be able to go on with the execution of our spiritual, our devotional service. Yes, any comments or questions?
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much, His Holiness Bhakti Vasudeva Maharaj, for this narration. Thank you for the blessings also. We pray that Lord Narasimhadeva will bestow his protective earth shield on you also as you try to serve their Lordship in this application section. So the The room is open for question and answer. So devotees, please kindly indicate by raising the hand emoji to ask a question or make some comment. Bishop Prabhu, please kindly unmute and ask a question.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, my humble obeisances. Thank you for your class. My question is, how does Narasimhadeva kill the material desires of the living entities? Here we found he came to protect his devotee from the father. But materially speaking, how does he kill the material desires of devotees to bring them to pure Krishna consciousness? Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, Lord Narasimha's mission, like I mentioned, is to chastise those who are terrorizing the Brahminical culture, those who are terrorizing the devotees, those who are abusive to children. I mean, it just translates into modern cultural setting. Each time the Lord appears, his major objective is to be able to give pleasure to the devotees. And so here I also will see that his advent was to be able to give pleasure to Prahlada by protecting him and annihilating the source of his mysteries. And material desires of devotees. See, everyone is a devotee. Some people are veiled. Some people are out of the veil, so they're practicing. But everyone on this planet, in this universe, anywhere in the material world, and the spiritual world, they are devotees of Lord Krishna. The difference is that someone has identified that they are devotees, and then they are practicing. And some other person has not been able to come to that recognition. But the Lord makes provisions for everyone to be able to, they give chance to everyone to see how they could really have a change of heart. It is the business of we have a free will. And so if we are determined that we want to give up sinful desires, then we take a devotional service. And Lord Krishna mentions, Sarva Dharma Pariti Jamami Aham Chon Sarva Papebyo Mukshayisha Minas. Krishna burns the desires if we surrender unto him. Krishna burns the desire if we surrender unto him. So we may have difficulties in having to execute or appreciate what Krishna has given to us. And we may have persistent desires that are cropping up. But in as much as we are on the path of devotional service, gradually those anantas, we have devotional service is a process. Ananta nivriti will come if we the time will come when we become devoid of sinful desires. It's a matter of the intensity of our devotional culture and our determination. So Lord Krishna mentions in the Gita that we should be able to perform, or we should constantly endeavor on this path. But then it's just a matter of time that these so-called desires that we get, in fact, sometimes we get really disturbed about. I've been chanting for 40 years, 50 years, 30 years, and I'm not able to attain ruchi. That should not be a problem. The fact that we are persistent on the path gives us a guarantee that we will attain that path, that ruchi, or that platform that we'll be able to have a taste of the holy name. Because when we are anxious about getting the mercy, and we are also not, at the same time, we are not anxious about delving deep in our devotional life, it becomes a little bit contradictory. And so, Lord Nrsimhadev or Krishna or Vishnu, yeah, he's there to rescue us, to be able to burn off all of our sinful desires, sinful activities, when we surrender completely, 100% to him. But the surrender process may take, may take time, because we do have different samskaras. So we should not be worried about, why? I mean, I remember I went to one state in the US. I went to Portland, to be precise. And so the president of the temple, he's a cancer doctor. So they had a girl. That time she was 16 years old. And the mother complained to me that she wasn't chanting. When she was younger, she was chanting. But then when she, became an adolescent, she stopped chanting. And I should help to speak with her. So her grandma was there, the mother was there. So I engaged this girl in a discussion. I said, your mom is worried that you stop chanting. I said, she said that she doesn't have taste for chanting. A good reason, And when we're not having taste for chanting, what does it cause? Anantas. So I asked her, do you have taste in going to school? And then the mother busted out laughing. I said, Mataji, why are you laughing? I'm having a discussion with your daughter. Why are you laughing? She said, I hit the nail on the head, because the girl used to come back from school and go to harass the mom and saying that you sent me to school to go and suffer, and you're just sitting back here, sleeping, enjoying, eating. So the mom would say, then the mom would say, if I didn't go to school, will your father, who is a medical doctor, come to marry me? So I said, so she said, the girl said, no, she doesn't have taste in going to school. So I said, why are you going to school then? She said, because of our future. I said, just like you don't have taste in going to school, but you're going to school anyway because of your future. You may not have taste for the holy name now, but continue chanting. It's a process. You will get to that stage. You will get to that level. So also, we get worried that we've been chanting and we're having so much of, we're experiencing so much of anatas in the mind, in the heart, and we sometimes be discouraged. But we should not be discouraged. Rupa Goswami has given the whole process. And we'll come, when we persist, we will come to that level where we chant and we are able to have a higher taste. And so when that stage comes, it means that we are paving the way for a complete, inflammation of our material desires, because the cause of the distractions is due to our material desires. And so the process allows us to get to that stage where we come to anatta nivriti, we're free from material desire. So it's a process of devotional service that reckons with that. And so the Lord has already given the process, and his pure devotees have passed down that process since time immemorial. And we are rest assured that we will be able to achieve the goal without any doubt. All right?
Thank you very much, Maharaj, for the wonderful answer.
That's a very nice question. Thank you.
Yes, Maharaj, thank you very much. His Holiness Bhakti Sharadishna Swami, you're welcome to the platform. Happy Narasimhadeva Chaturdasi. Maharaj, before you go, I have one question.
Oh. Okay.
Please kindly permit me.
Sure.
In narrating the stories of our Prahlada Maharaja, we were going back to his previous life, and we had that unconsciously he engaged in act of devotion by fasting on the appearance day of Lord Narasimhadeva unconsciously, without knowing.
Yes.
And by that alone, he got the mercy of Lord Narasimhadeva. And here we are, most of us for years, we've been fasting on Narasimhadeva appearance. This question is a follow-up to your question. And similarly, we look at it and we feel we are not tasting pure devotion yet. Even while we're consciously fasting on, we fasted, some of us have fasted for 10, 20, 30, Nisima Chatrodasi, and we chanting somehow or the other. And is it that our engagement now is going to be giving some fruit in our next life? We're going through whatever we're going through now as a result of our previous life that we've engaging, and our endeavor now will fructify in our next life, or something else. I just wanted to share some light.
Yeah, thank you, Salika Prabhu. You see, somebody mentioned something to me, and he said that what he got from the astrologer gave him a lot of solace. He's suffering like anything. Okay, sometimes even he wants to commit suicide, and he has spoken with some astrologer and they give him a backtrack of his previous life, where he was born, and all this type of stuff, what he did in the previous life, and how he came to be now, and everything that he will still have to suffer more. But on his star, he said the astrologer told him that you have a boon, you have a great boon, that you're not coming back to this material world.
Wow.
So he said that gave him a shy of relief. So even when he tried to kill himself, he just tolerated the suffering. So the point is, we do not know what and how we have come to this very level, especially to be born in a particular environment implies that our past life was not so juicy. Look at some of these people and look at some of our situation. The Sastras explained that if someone is born in an aristocratic family, it means he was very pious. He had attained a lot of pious credit in previous life. If someone, something like that, things like that. And I've spoken with some of these devotees in the West. Our situations, they're completely at opposite polarities. Completely at opposite polarities. So the past life plays a role, and the point that we are on the path of devotion, despite the challenges that we have been facing, is a pointer that we have auspicious future. And therefore, we shouldn't be overly disturbed. We have emotions, we have feelings. So it is right for us to be contemplative and think about, why this, why that. I've been chanting for this number of years and all this stuff. But again, it boils down to the point that we should be grateful. We should also count our blessings. There are some people who have not gotten the opportunity to chant Krishna's names. There are some people who, even just to be vegetarians, they couldn't. Even in the West, I've seen that. So we should be grateful to Krishna and continue on our path of devotion. The most important thing is that we should concentrate. I mean, like what Guru Maharaj Bhakti Swami Maharaj would say that, be your brothers and sisters keeper. That we lack that very much there, and we should see how we are being our brothers and sisters keepers. Because a devotee is paraduka duki, most aggrieved to see the suffering of others. But most aggrieved to see the suffering of others does not end there. They do something practical to relieve the suffering of the other people. To do something practical to relieve the suffering of their neighbor. They do something practical to relieve the suffering of their loved ones, of their fellow devotees. And so we may just argue that, this is just too much, what type of karma is this? But we are also highly blessed. Some people, even born in very aristocratic conditions, they don't have the opportunity, they don't have the merit to become involved in devotional service and have a secured or guaranteed future in the next life. So yeah, karma plays different roles, but in as much as we are on the path of devotional service, our future is guaranteed. Our future is guaranteed, so we should not be worried.
Thank you very much, Maharaj. We're very grateful, and we pray that Lord Narasimhadeva will continue to give protection to you, and so that we can have more association. Thank you very much, Maharaj. I think there are no hands up now, so we'll go to the next speaker. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Maharaj.
Dhanwad, Charu, Prabhu, Maharaj, Charu. Gurudev Charu, thank you very much for coming.
Thank you. Thank you for blessing. Hare Krishna. In Mayapur?
Yeah.
In Mayapur? Oh, okay. Hopefully next year.
I'm still hanging here. I'm waiting. I'm on the queue here.
Okay.
I'm on the queue.
No, I'm in Africa.
All right.
Hopefully next year we'll Mayapur.
All right.
Hare Krishna.
Okay, thank you, devotees, for being here. Once again, we wish you all a very blissful Narasimha Chaturdasi. Now we'll go to our next speaker for the day. His Holiness Bhakti Hare Krishna Swami. You're welcome to the platform. So we're eagerly waiting to hear Narasimha Kata from your lotus mouth. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, Hare Krishna Bhagavad, Hare Krishna Maharaj. This is Ashat Mambas. Jai Sri Narasimha Om Janam Chinmadasya Jana Jana Strapala Satsu Militam Natasma Shudame Namaha Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Kirta Community Namine Namaste Krishna Padaya Prabhupada Sasmane Sri Gaura Karuna Shakti Bhakti Namine Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Community Namine Namaste Sarvas Deve Gaura Karuna Nirvishesha Sanyavadi Bhattacharya Gatharine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Bhagavato Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Shri Narasimhadeva Bhagavan ki jai.
Jai.
Gaura Bhaktavinda ki jai. Hare Krishna, everyone. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity for this wonderful day, Narasimhadeva Chaturdasi. And we are very grateful to hear Maharaj talk. Actually, I was preparing to mention that story, how Prahlada Maharaja got his blessing to become a pure devotee, because from his pure past life was kind of thankful personality that he got a blessing. So thank Maharaj for telling that story. Nice story. Yeah. So today is Narasimha Chaturdashi. Actually, for devotees, you can say that in our altar we have different deities. Radha Shyamsundar, Radha Govinda, Radha Gopinath, sometimes Jagannath Bala Subhadra, sometimes Sitaram Lakshman Hanuman, Goranitai. That to be frank, devotees, I don't know, in Europe, especially in West Africa, Africa generally, we are more attached to to Lord Narasimhadeva. Why? Because the reason is simple. Because he's the duty to protect his devotees. Yeah. So we can have if you want to do prosper in the business in income, you can do Narasimha business. Sell rings of Narasimha, Narasimha oil, Narasimha kavash, Narasimha t-shirts. People will buy because we are so much interested in Lord Narasimhadeva. Yes. Everybody likes to be protected. Yeah. But when you look at the thing very closely, when you become a devotee, a devotee is not supposed to pray for protection for any kind. No, protection for witchcraft, protection from this and that. Yes, we still need protection from Lord Narasimhadeva. What is that protection? Protection needs Lord Narasimhadeva to protect our devotional, our bhakti lata bij, our devotional seeds in our heart. He said that when Narasimhadeva killed Hiranyakashipu, was still very furious, was removing the intestine of Hiranyakashipu, just to find out maybe there is another Prahlada in this body. Maybe there is another Prahlada. Because devotee like Prahlada, very, very, very rare. So Lord Narasimhadeva, after killing Hiranyakashipu, was still looking in the body, but found out maybe another Prahlada in this body. Yeah. So the thing is that it's difficult, very difficult to attend pure devotion service. It is mentioned in Nektar devotion that they have 6 characteristics of pure devotion service. One of them is that it is very, very, very difficult to attend pure devotion service. Krishna never did it so easily. So easily. Krishna can give mukti, siddhi, but Parama Bhakti, very, 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 very difficult. Actually, it is reserved for pure devotees only. Because if you have pure devotion, Parama Bhakti, then you can command Krishna, can give order to Krishna. Who are we to give order to God, Krishna? That's why when Prahlada Maharaja said, actually it was an indirect command. When his father asked him, my dear son, where is your power? What do you get your power? He said, I'm getting my power from Vishnu. Oh, then your Vishnu, what is he saying? Saying everywhere. Everywhere. What does it mean? Yes, everywhere. Even in this particular, yes. Then, okay, you and me, if you say Krishna or Narasimhadeva in this house or this pillar, nothing will happen. Nothing will happen. But Lord said, Krishna, God, Narasimhadeva in the pillar. And to to execute the command of his pure devotee, exactly, he appeared from the pillar. Just to show that, yes, anything the devotee wants, anything the devotee say, Krishna is ready to. And one interesting thing also from Narasimhadeva appearance is that it's a long story. Actually, the story starts from Diti story and Kashyapa. No? So the period was bad to have contact with his wife. So he told the wife, no, this period is not good. She insisted. That after the action, he said, your son, you are going to have 2 sons. Terrible demons. Terrible demons. So she was very afraid. What? I'm going to disturb the society. So she kept this pregnancy for 100 years. Can you imagine? Pregnancy is 9 months. Normal pregnancy is 9 months. But she kept this pregnancy for 100 years. Why? Because she didn't want to bring sons out that are going to disturb the society. But after some time, the son appeared, very gigantic, very tall, and they started disturbing everything. So in the course of time, Lord Vara came and killed one of the brothers in an action. So Narasimhadeva said, okay, you, Vishnu, you kill my brother, and I'll take revenge. Take revenge by killing you also. That is the foolishness of human beings in this society now. Try to kill God. If we are not trying to kill God like Nakashipu, but we are killing God by neglecting his action, by neglecting his devotees, by neglecting his temple, by promoting demoniac, culture. This is the work of killing God. So, like scientists now today, not that scientists are not good, but some the direction of the scientists, of some of the scientists from these days, are just promoting mundane culture, material culture. Just forget about who created everything. They can accept that everything is suspended in the space by the law of gravity. It's the law of gravity, but not God. It is the law of gravity. Who is the power behind the law of gravity? So the Narasimhadeva appearance day is to, first of all, establish the truth that yes, God, Krishna, can do whatever his devotees does, and that this world now, with so many the advanced culture of materialism can be stopped only by worshiping Narasimhadeva. And one thing also is that Prahlada Maharaja was born from a demoniac father. His father is a demon. Everyone knows that he's a big demon. So what happened? Why is that a demon father can, give birth to a very pure devotee? It's contrast. Generally, he said, you follow the character of your son, or you follow the character of your mother. The one saying that this father, this son, this mother, this daughter. So why that? Prahlada Maharaj became a pure devotee instead of becoming a demon like his father. Yeah, I think that the Hiranyakashipu was sick when he went for meditation. So the demigods, Indra and the other one, they said, yes, this demon, if you don't do something, he's going to destroy all of us. So when he went for meditation, was praying for, because the mantra is given to him by Brahma, I think it was Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. Then one of the demigods, I think Agni, this guy himself has took the form of a parrot. It was himself on the tree. So when Hiranyakashipu says Om Namah Shivaya, the parrot, Agni disguise, and parrot says Jai Shri Vishnu, Jai Shri Vishnu. No, Vishnu killed the brother of Hiranyakashipu. So there's no question of making friends with Vishnu or those who are associated with Vishnu. So Vishnu is the biggest enemy of Hiranyakashipu. So there's no question of mentioning the name or hearing that name. Yeah. So you were saying Om Namah Shivaya. Then the parrot will say Jai Shri Vishnu. Om Namah Shivaya, Jai Shri Vishnu. So at the point, Hiranyakashipu got hungry, very angry. Who is chanting this, the name of my enemy? And he stopped his meditation. See, I imagine if you are doing like japa, and your friend or your son or somebody make a big noise, that breaks your meditation. Now it's difficult to continue. Maybe you pause some time, and when you get back your consciousness, then you can start again your meditation. So that happened to Hiranyakashipu. One was constantly hearing Jai Shri Vishnu, Jai Shri Vishnu, instead of Om Namah Shivaya. So he got angry and stopped his meditation. He was in the mountains. He stopped meditation, get down, and went straight to the house. So as there are different type of people. When we are annoyed, sometimes what we do some relaxation, some meditation, nice bhajan, you go to visit the temple, you go to the beach, to see everything. Then your consciousness comes calm gradually. But some other people, when they are in trouble, what they can do, the solution is to drink or to smoke. Just forget this stress. So the same thing is demon. The best way to cool down the mind is to engage in sexual activity with women. So Hiranyakashipu, when he got home, was very hungry. The name of Shri Vishnu was ringing in his mind. Shri Vishnu. He tried to remove, but not possible. Until he met his wife, Kayadu. Then, what do you expect? What do you expect? Somebody meditating seriously on Vishnu and meeting with his wife. The product will be a Krishna Bhakta. Sometimes we don't understand why devotees, they can bring children who are not interested in Krishna consciousness. I have a story. I know. I had something in Mayapur that one Babuji, they stay many years in Mayapur, and they were even Indians. Huh? Then they got a child. That child left the compound of Mayapur and became a Christian. Your father is a devotee. Your mother is the devotee. Yours, the son become Christian. Now we are not saying Christian is not good, but normally the church is devotee. So Hiranyakashipu was meditating on Vishnu and directly, so it got Prahlada Maharaja. Yes. So can you imagine if you directly meditate constantly on Lord Vishnu, Krishna's name, then what will happen? Yeah. So that is the point. The consciousness, our consciousness is very, very, very important. That's why we say National Society for Krishna Consciousness. Krishna consciousness. Yeah. And one thing also that Prahlada Maharaja did not become a demon as he's supposed to be, because his father is the best of the demons, and his father sent him to the best of school, demoniac school, under the care of the best demoniac teachers. But Prahlada Maharaj did not become a demon. Why? In fact, when his father asked him, "My dear son, what do you, why is that we are teaching? I'm spending so much energy, so much fun, so much, to get to train in that school, that famous school of demons. But you are not changing, you are not progressing, you are not having good marks. What is the problem?" What is happening? Please tell me. Then Prahlada Maharaj said him, Shravana, Kirtanam, Vishnu, Mahanam. Yes. So while in the demoniac school, he was always involved, engaged in Shravana, Kirtanam, Vishnu, of course, the 9 devotional services are there. But the first 3, Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, Smaranam, is very, 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 very important. So Prahlada Maharaj did not become a demon at the start school. What saved him is that he was devotee since the womb of his mother. Because he was so very fortunate. When Indra wanted to kill his mother, then Narada Muni appeared and told Indra that what is the proof that this woman is going to give birth to a demon or a sin? Nobody knows. And above that, you are a man. How can you dare kill a lady? It's not a ticket. Please consider. Give me that lady. I will take her to my ashram. So Narada Muni took the lady, Ayadu. She was pregnant. And from there, she was always every day hearing Srimad Bhagavatam Katha. From the womb of his mother, Prahlada Maharaj was already hearing Srimad Bhagavatam. And when he came out from the womb of his mother, then he started associating with Narada Muni's disciple in his ashram. Then after 5 years, when sending him back to his father, was already strong devotee. So his father tried to change him, turn him into a demon, but could not do it because he was already very, very, very strongly attached to Krishna Bhakti. See, that explains the progress in our devotional service. The progress. The beginning, we always say it. We study that in Bhakti Shastri, so it's common for us. We start from, all of us start from Shraddha, Sadhusanga. The last target, last stop is Prema Bhakti. But in between, we have a Nishta, we have Ruchi, like that. But if you get to Nishta and Ruchi, you need to Bhajana Kriya. Strong practice, very, very strong practice. If Prahlada Maharaj did not have a strong practice in the ashram of Narada Muni, when he met his father could have changed him in just 1 or 2 days. But born from the womb of his mother was in Bhagavatam Katha, and when he came out from the womb, he started also doing Bhajana Bhakti, Bhajana Kriya. So that helped him to be strong against the father's attack. So Narada Muni, Prahlada Maharaj did not become a demon while he was in the demoniac school because of that. Yeah. Sometimes also we can see the opposite situation, that we may be in a spiritual environment, like a temple, in a church or a mosque. Let's say in a temple, that our consciousness is not that strong to be absorbed in the Krishna conscious practice. Yeah. So we can see the opposite effect. Sometimes we're supposed to be devotees, but rather we develop, manifest some other characteristics. That it is due to the lack of serious. I think Sarika Prabhu was asking the question to Maharaj. Why we have been doing Chaturdashi for many years, 20 years, 30 years, 40 years. Sometimes also devotee that question. He said, if you turn around Tulsi even once, that is enough. If you chant the Maha Mantra once, it's very, very important. And we do that many years. The thing is that when we do something good, we should stop doing what is bad. Actually, the affordability principle. When you go for preaching, we don't put much emphasis on that. Eating, this is said, gambling. Yes, but if you do what you are supposed to do, what the acharyas and what the scriptures are mentioning that is good to do, when you do what is good, automatically you will not even think of what is bad. Now, if you meditate on what is bad, then you did good. Yeah. So by engaging in devotional service, then automatically you don't do what is bad. So in our case, yes, we do fasting Ekadashi for many years, we chant Maha Mantra for many years. But what is killing us? Thing is Prahlada. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told his mother, please, do one thing. Never forget to fast on Ekadashi day. And he said that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, well, I will free everyone. That was a dream that is made by Mother Sashi. Made that dream that everybody was going back to Yamaraj. Yes, everybody was going back to Godhead. Yamaraj approached, Lord Chaitanya that this, what is with my business? My business is to chastise those sinful persons. But you are taking them all. This is your Maha Mantra. Yes. And Lord Chaitanya said, yes. If my Maha Mantra, anybody will chant it purely without offense, will go back. But no worry, you get some customers still. Those who are going to offend my devotees. So they will be your customers. So don't worry, you will still have some customers. So in our Krishna consciousness, we do everything. Then last Sarika Prabhu asked, the result is there, but sometimes it's covered. Why? Because of little offenses. Yeah. So we understand that the appearance there of Lord Narasimhadeva, as I mentioned in the beginning, that we don't expect Narasimhadeva to protect us from witchcraft. We are supposed to be above witchcraft from the beginning of our devotion service. The same nectar devotion mentioned that when you start practicing pure devotion service, the first thing you get is called kleshagni. Kleshagni. Means removal of all the kleshas. You have 3 kleshas. Adi bodhi klesha, adi adhika klesha, adi bodhi klesha. Now, klesha means suffering, troubles, problems. Suffering from higher forces, demons, trouble from other entities, mosquitoes, snakes, trouble from our own mind, adhyatmika klesha. In nectar devotion, do you believe in nectar devotion? The books written by Rupa Goswami. Do you believe in that? Yes. Then why? if you do pure devotional service, it brings the first benefits. Kleshagni. Second one is the Shubhada. Everything becomes auspicious around us. So if you don't have Kleshagni disturbing you, if you don't have anything disturbing in your life, is always auspicious. Why are you going to pray for protection for witchcraft? But still, you need to pray, Lord Narasimhadeva, to protect us from committing offense, protect our mind to go here and there. That because after all, if you become a devotee, still our mind can be distracted by many things. So this day, this is a very auspicious day of Narasimha Chaturdashi, that we pray that Lord Narasimhadeva enters our heart and with his nails excavate our dirty heart and remove all these anatas, because we cannot on our own, we cannot. We are even accommodating those anatas. We are very happy with them. We cannot even have the courage to remove. We are used to them now. Just like Lord Balaram, he has his plow to excavate our heart, to move, to move. Go and find this Maktilaka beach, deep down there. So let us pray that Lord Narasimhadeva, with his nails, come and make this surgery to operate our heart and remove all the anatas and protect this Maktilaka bija, and that seed that's growing, become bigger and bigger, bring some fruits, some delicious fruits, and we can attend Brahmananda, Krishna, Prema, Hare Krishna. So I told Kusha that I will complete from 10 to 10:30, 10 minutes. Yes, so I think my time is okay. If we have some few comments or few questions, I would like to take them and.
Thank you very much, His Holiness Dr. Hare Krishna Swami. Happy Narasimhadeva Jayanti to you, and out of your busy schedule, thank you very much. And devotees, if anyone has a comment or question, please kindly indicate by raising the hand emoji. Maharaj, you said something very interesting while you were giving the narration. You talked about Kleshagni, which is the very symptoms one experiences when one takes to the path of bhakti. And you explained them, there are three: freedom from miseries caused by other living entities, natural calamities, the demigods, and the miseries caused by our own body. In devotional service, if someone is in devotional service, is chanting Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, is following the rules and regulations, and it still goes to experience some of this Kleshagni. How do we explain it? Because someone asked a question some few days ago in a small Bhagavatam class, when the pandemic arose, our devotees were praying to Lord Narasimhadeva. And it's like calling for more problem when the devotees have that yagya in Vrindavan, because before the yagya, in that, during that period, it seemingly was like there was some calm. But the moment that yagya, this yagya was performed, then there was a massive eruption of devotees getting the COVID, dying en mass. So how do we explain this?
Yes. I'm not saying that that yagya was not good. What I said, and Prahlada Maharaja went to the best demoniac school but he did not become a demon because he was already protected by bhakti, not from his childhood. So that, seed was already there very strongly. Sometimes I explain the Christian, my friend Christian. We are in West Africa here. We have many, when you go to fish, there's so many Christians. So I tell them, look, you are Jesus Christ. You tell if Jesus Christ was sitting in his house, sleeping and doing whatever he wants, and when he met Satan proposed him 4 things, but Jesus Christ refused all of them. Why? Because he was very strong, he was practicing, he was fasting, doing all kind of meditation. So when the danger was full of him, he had some strength to push away that obstacle. Not wait until the obstacle is there, then start looking for this mantra, that mantra, this sloka, that sloka. Maybe too late. Yeah. That's how I'm saying that the devotee should understand that first of all, our natural protection is our devotion service itself. It is a protection by itself. As I mentioned, pure devotion service brings, the first result is kleshagni. The 3 kleshas disappear. Kleshas must disappear. So, okay, if the kleshas are not disappearing, it means our devotion service, I'm not saying you're not doing, but it's not that strong. So we should keep on increasing. Another reason also, maybe sometimes Krishna also can give some tests with devotees. Can give some tests to his devotees, see if they are faith on him. So for devotees leaving the body, also what happened in Mayapur, devotees left the body in big numbers. Well, after the initial Jagya, maybe that those devotees leaving the body after the Jagya, then that's the blessing of Lord Narasimhadeva. Because devotee is not the death itself that's the problem. How do you leave the body? What is your consciousness? In which environment do you leave that body? Very, very important. Yeah. So we should know that not always see that yes, Prahlada Maharaja get this blessing, so me too, I'm going to get the same blessing. But do we have the same devotion, the same bhakti like Prahlada Maharaja? No. Yeah. In our case, personally, we do service, devotional service, and at the same time also we do so many things that are not devotional, like as I mentioned, so many offenses that we do. Offense is very, very destructive to our bhakti Kabija. Very, very destructive. Very, 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 very. Yeah. I always say that we have 4 seeds in our hearts. Bhakti Kabija seed is there, the karma beach is there, jnana beach is there, and yoga beach is there. 4 seeds in our heart. So Bhakti beach is supposed to grow. Now those 3 products, seeds, they prevent the original seed to become big and grow. So first of all, it's destroyed. Because these 3 are bigger than the Bhakti Lata, then our devotion service will be chopped. And our progress will be very, 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 very. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much, Maharaj. Since there are no questions, we're expecting Ishwara Prabhu. It's not here, but you said earlier you wanted to go for a program. I don't know if you can entertain another one question, because I have a question, and I don't know if it is okay by you. I can ask the second question.
Ask a question.
Thank you very much, Maharaj. While Maharaj was giving his narration, you also mentioned it while speaking about the personality of Prahlada Maharaj. Prahlada Maharaj, seemingly from the narrations we have had, got the education that made him a devotee, extraordinary devotee, apart from being benedicted, having fasted on Narasimhadeva in his previous life. The real education he got was while he was in the womb, in association of Narad Muni. And we look at present day situation, our system of education presently, it makes people, Prahlada Maharaja was not ever influenced by the education he got when he was outside of the womb. He was influenced, he was greatly influenced. His life was a greater reflection of what lessons he learned from the womb. So in our present times, why is it that most of us, even in devotional service, sorry for that. Yeah. So the education we get externally, for us, we're born in darkest ignorance, right? And now we're getting knowledge from here. So how do we explain this? Is it because we did not get the kind of education in the womb that Prahlad got, that the present education that we're getting in our present day life reality is not affecting us? Because Prahlad also seemingly was not affected much by the knowledge or education he was getting while he was greatly influenced by the knowledge he got while in the womb. So is it because of the knowledge we got while we were in the womb that is affecting us right presently, that is not allowing us to assimilate or even get much of influence of the lessons that we're learning in devotion service?
Yeah, of course. You answer your question yourself. Yes, of course. You see, Prahlada Maharaja, as you rightly said, got the instruction from the womb of the mother. And see, we have a system in Vedic culture that is called Barbadam Samskar. Yeah, it is there. We can apply that. You can apply that. If you apply that, make sure the consciousness of the husband, the consciousness of the wife, both of them, they will have the right consciousness. I mentioned that why in Nakashipu, a demon gave birth to a devotee child because of was meditating indirectly on Lord Vishnu. So the consciousness matters in bringing a child. Okay, so that when the child is, when I joined ISKCON in the beginning, we used to hear that the Grihasthas, the wife, I mean, the Matajis and the Prabhuji, they have to chant at least 15 rounds of japa so that they can be, I heard that when I joined. Why? Because they have the proper mindset, mood. And when the baby will come, he will come. And when the baby comes down, you need to train that baby. You need to prevent that baby to get too much in touch with Facebook and external association. If you don't take care of that also, even though we got the knowledge from the womb, that the external environment can also explain that. So for the case of Narada Muni, he got that seed from the womb. And after that, when he came out from the womb, he got more training from Narada Muni and the ashram. You know why? Sometimes we should ask ourselves why all the big devotees, Prahlada Maharaja, Narada Muni, all of them, they started 5 years ago. 5 years old. Most of the pure devotees, Narada Muni, Prahlada Maharaja, Dhruva Maharaj, they all started at 5 years old. Because at that time, we are still inclined to learn. Then most of us, we joined at the age of 20, at the age of 15, at the age of 30. Already we already developed so many bad characters right from the womb of our mother. So it is not that easy to change this, this character. But Krishna consciousness is so wonderful. And if you keep doing that in this association of devotees, then gradually, the anatas will disappear one by one. But the main thing is that we did not start early. It doesn't matter. Late or early, the point is that you must really focus, you must be absorbed in this Krishna consciousness. That's why we should not have a little rest. We should be involved in all kinds of studies. Bhakti Shastri, Bhakti Bhava, this class, that class, this seminar, that seminar. Always be in the midst of devotees while we are chanting or we are doing. You should always be engaged in Krishna consciousness. That's the only way we can escape from this material entanglement. Yeah. So, in my case, I joined ISKCON when I was 22. At the age of 22, I already developed some, so many other things. So, if you are 5 years old and you get trained from the Gurukula, then when you get to 25, you decide either you continue in the ashram or you leave the ashram and enter the grass ashram. But this in the modern society, in Europe, in the Western world, in Africa, this training is not there. The ashrams we don't follow, so we cannot become. All of a sudden, we become devotees, Krishna devotees. Right? The beginning, brahmacharya, grihastha, vanaprastha, then sannyasi. So there is no training of brahmacharya in the Western world. Very difficult. When we join some a spiritual organization, our background is already there, influencing our progress. So he said the knowledge we got from the womb of our mother is very, very important. Generation after generation, and it's actually in the blood. In the blood, huh? Is there in the NDA? No, NDA. So it's not easy. The only thing we pray, there are three ways to become pure devotee. By Kripa Siddhi, by mercy of a pure devotee, or Krishna himself, or Sadhana Kripa, or by those who are already liberated when they come. So we have two options. Kripa Siddhi, Sadhana Siddhi. By sadhana, strong sadhana, you can become pure devotee. Or by mercy, or pure devotee, or Krishna. Like if you wait for mercy, it's not evident. You cannot wait for mercy. The only thing we can do is sadhana, practice sadhana strongly. So in that way, we rest everything to Krishna. Krishna can decide to, even though our devotion is complete, Krishna can have mercy on us and take us back to Godhead. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. It's interesting, but I don't want to keep you more. There's a follow-up thought, but I'll let you go because I will say special.
After another question, if you like.
Okay. Okay, time is still there, Maharaj. Thank you very much. From the explanation, it reflects that there is so much of importance, and I remember the Srila Prabhupada's explanation of the verse in the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 2, where Lord Krishna was telling Arjuna that when there is the lack of protection of the womanhood, then there is Vanasankara, unwanted population.
Yes.
Now, the world is filled with unwanted population. We're celebrating Narasimhadeva Chaturdasi and prayers. I had in one of our lecture on this day that to reduce the unwanted population, because Lord Narasimhadeva, he came to remove the demonic personality. All of his incarnations are to kill the demons and to give protection to the devotees. So for the devotees on Narasimhadeva, what are the best approach for devotees? Because most of the Narasimhadeva appearance we celebrate in the temple, we fast, but how do we affect the general public with the appearance of Lord Narasimhadeva? Because if Prahlada just by fasting unconsciously became a devotee, how can we on this unique day affect the general mass populace who are largely Vanasankara, unwanted populations? So how do we largely affect them by such an appearance there? Maharaj, you're muted.
Yeah. Thank you for the question. For instance, if you go to radio or TV and from the population like in Nigeria or America or whatever, yes, today is very nice day, very auspicious. If you fast, you get this disease. People will say, see, our world now is mostly dominated by two religions, Islam and Christianity. They will say, well, these Hare Krishna people, what do they say again? We already have I'm a Muslim, I'm a Christian. So we can do that in a disguised form. Just like Narasimhadeva is doing. Because if you tell them that this is a prayer from Hare Krishna, they may not like this. So if you maybe you can mention to like a general talk. That's okay. In a month, they have some official days of fasting. And you mention like today's May 15th. So if you give them the calendar in advance, or if you do the program in the radio or television, like today, it's very, very according to the constellation and according to the vibration of the universe. Today is very, 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 very auspicious for fasting. Anybody who fasts, that this is blessing. Imagination, especially if they see the form of Narasimhadeva, killing Prahlada, I've seen many people cursing Narasimhadeva rather than Narasimhadeva. We go, they think Narasimhadeva is rather the demon himself. Why is he killing? More. Yeah. So it will be difficult for them to accept that, yes, if you fast today on this office day, I'll get this blessing. So we can tell them in the disguised way. Yeah. All our programs are very strong. Jamastami, Gaur Purnima, Ramnavami, all our programs are very, very strong. And Kartik, all these programs are very, very powerful purifiers that they will not accept because it's coming from another religion. So we should find a way, we should package. Just like a mother wants to give a very bitter tablet to a child. If the child knows that this is liver queen, you run away. So if one can put the liver queen in a very nice cake, wrap it or pizza, the child will eat the cake and swallow the medicine without knowing. And he will get cured. Understand? Yeah. So we need to be smart how to catch those populations, because if you know that you are coming to catch them, they will run away. That you are doing best good for them, that they will think, yes, you are rather a demon. Because why you are not a Christian? Why you are not a Muslim? You are a Christian, means you are a demon. That you have the best solution for them, that they will run away. So you find strategies, ways, and to approach them so that they can accept it indirectly. Just like the food for life you do. If you say this food, this is called prasad. You offer to the deities. You put a tulsi leaf and send some mantras. They will not eat. I've seen many people visiting temples. When you offer them prasad, they will eat all the prasad. They will leave the tulsi. They will leave the tulsi leaf. If they give them pure water, if tulsi leaf, they will not drink. They say, what is this leaf? You see? So we should find some ways and strategies to still help them. They need help. They will not accept help from who can help them.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much, Maharaj, for your nice, wonderful answers. So if there are any questions or other comments from other devotees, otherwise we will allow Maharaj to go and continue celebration. Not seeing hand ups. So Maharaj, thank you very much once again. We really appreciate you for taking out this time out of your busy schedule for the day to come and give us your association. I will pray that Lord Narasimhadeva in his mercy, who protected Prahlada Maharaja, will continue to protect and empower you so that we can get more and more association. Thank you very much, Maharaj. Yeah. Yeah. So dear devotees, we are still actually expecting 2 speakers. Ishwara Prabhu from Vrindavan, but presently is gone for Abhishek because the timing is coinciding with the time of Abhishek in Vrindavan. So he's gone for Abhishek, but we're still expecting His Grace Srivas Vanachari to come to speak to us. I'm trying to reach him outside of here. Jagat Vasu Prabhu, if you somehow or the other are close to him, because Maharaj, His Grace Srivas Vanachari is not online now. If you have an opportunity to see him, Jagat Vasu Prabhu, I can see you here. Please kindly help us to inform him. Okay, Maharaj is busy for now. Okay. Yeah, that's the situation. So meanwhile, since I would, if we don't mind, I'm going to play Srila Prabhupada's Narasimhadeva appearance lecture. So I think we enjoy that while we wait for the other speakers to come online.
So, I am so pleased that within such a short time, these boys have nicely learned how to play, and especially I have to thank Mr. Hiranyakashipu. Girls who have played the Prahlada Chitra, Hiranyakashipu. Girls who have played the Prahlada Chitra, Hiranyakashipu both. Today is the appearance day of Lord Narasimhadeva. It is called Narasimha Chaturdashi. So, I am so pleased that within such a short time, these boys have nicely learned how to play, and especially I have to thank Mr. Hiranyakashipu. Mr. Hiranyakashipu has played his part very nicely. So, this is very instructive. A struggle between the atheist and the theist. This story of Prahlada Maharaja is eternally true. There is always a struggle between the atheist and the theist. If a person becomes God conscious, Krishna conscious, so he will find many enemies, because the world is full of demons. What to speak of the devotee of Krishna? Even Krishna, when he personally came, he had to kill so many demons. There was his maternal uncle, his mother's brother, very keenly related. Still, he wanted to kill Krishna. As soon as any son was born to Devaki, immediately he killed, because he did not know who will be Krishna. The prediction was that the 8th child of his sister will kill Kansa. So he began to kill all the children. At last Krishna came. but he could not kill Krishna. He was killed by Krishna. So, nobody can kill God. The demons, godless society, they simply want to kill God. But actually, God is never killed, but the demon is killed by God. That is the law of nature. This is the instruction from Prahlada Maharaja's life. We can understand that as it is stated in the Bhagavad Gita, Mrityu sarva harascha aham. In the Bhagavad Gita it is said that I am also death in the shape of taking away everything, whatever you possess. We are very much proud of possessing material things, material acquisitions. But when Krishna comes, just like Maharaj, Prahlada Maharaja saw, Hiranyakashipu, his father also saw, Narasimhadeva. This Hiranyakashipu was very clever. As the materialist, scientists are very clever. Cleverly they are inventing so many things. What is the idea? The idea is we shall live forever and enjoy a sense gratification more and more. This is called atheistic advancement of civilization. The Hiranyakashipu was typical materialist. Hiranya means gold and Kashipu means soft bed, cushion. The materialist person, they are very much fond of gold and enjoying sex. That is their business. Hiranyakashipu is the typical example of this materialistic person. And Prahlada Maharaj, Prakishtarupena Allada. Allada means transcendental bliss. Ananda Chinmaya Rasa Pratibhavitani. Living entities, real identification is Prahlada, blissfulness. But on account of material association, we are in miserable condition of life. So, stop this children. So this Hiranyakashipu wanted to become immortal and he underwent penances, severe penances, so much so the whole universe became tremble. So that Brahma, Lord Brahma had to come to pacify him. What do you want? So he wanted to become immortal. Lord Brahma said that although I have got very long duration of life, the duration of life of Brahmaji is stated in the Bhagavad Gita. Sahasra Juga Pajyantam Arhajyat Brahmano Vidu. Sahasra Juga, one group of Juga, Sattva, Treta, Dapur, Kali, it becomes about 43 lakhs of years. And multiply this 43 lakhs of years by 1,000. That duration of time is Brahma's 12 hours one day. Sahasra Juga Pajyantam Arhajyat Brahmano Vidu. So that Brahma, who lives for millions and trillions of years, still he has to die. Janma Mrityu Jara Vyadhi Dukkha Doshana Darsana. Wherever you go within this material world, either in the Brahma Loka or in the Patal Loka, you have to die. That is the problem. Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, real problem is Janma Mrityu Jara Vyadhi. birth, death, old age and disease. Just try to. So Hiranyakashipu wanted to solve this in a materialistic way. But that is not possible. So in a negative way, he wanted that I shall not die on the land, I shall not die in the air, I shall not die in the water, I shall not be killed by any man-made weapon. In so many ways, negatively, he thought that he has become immortal. But Krishna is so intelligent that keeping all the words or the blessings given by Lord Brahma to Hiranyakashipu, he killed him. Just like Hiranyakashipu wanted that he would not be killed either at day or in night. So Hiranyakashipu was killed neither at day and neither in night, but just in the beginning of evening, which is neither day nor night. Then he wanted that he shall not be killed in the air, in the water, or in the land. So Hiranyakashipu was killed on the lap of the Lord. So he wanted that he would not be killed by any weapons made by man. So Lord killed him with his nails. Yeah. Tabakara kamalabari nakha madbhuta singham dalita hiranyakashipu tanu bhringam kesavadhita narahari rupa jaya jagadisha hari. So we cannot cheat God. That is not possible. However scientifically we may be advanced, God is always more intelligent than ourselves. We should always remember. That is the difference between demon and devotee. Devotee knows that God is great. I am His eternal servant. So he remains a humble servant of Krishna. Therefore he has no danger. Even if he has danger, he will be saved. Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, Konteya pratijanihi name bhakta pranasat. Konteya pratijanihi, Arjuna, you can declare it all over the world, that anyone who has taken shelter at my lotus feet, become devotee, he will never be vanquished. Aham tva sarva pape bhamokvayasami masu. So these are the assurances. But the atheist class of men like Hiranyakashipu cannot understand this. That is the defect. The challenge always God. The dissension between the father and the son was that the son was believer in God, Krishna, and the father was not. So, at the end, the father saw what is God in the form of death. At that time, he could not save him. But that is the difference between theist and atheist. The atheist always challenges, where is God? Can you show me? Well, you will see. Not now, but at the maturation of your all sinful activities. When death will come, you will see. This is going on. It is very instructive lesson. Prahlada Maharaja, now it is getting late, otherwise I would have recited some of the verses recited by Sri Prahlada Maharaj. Prahlada Maharaj is one of our gurus. There are 12 gurus or Mahajan. Sambhu, Narada, Shambhu, Kumara, Kapila, Mano, Prahlada, Janaka, Bhishma, Bali, Vaiyasaki, Vayam. Actually, if we want to make progress in spiritual life, we have to follow the Mahajans, the great personalities. They are mentioned in the Shastras. Sambhu, Narada, Shambhu. Shambhu means Brahma. Lord Brahma is Swayambhu. Without father and mother, he became manifest. Therefore his name is Shambhu. Of course his father is Narayana, but not in the usual way. Therefore his name is Shambhu Narada. Narada Muni is also one of the Mahajans. And Shambhu, Lord Shiva, Kapilide, the son of Devayati. Shambhu, Narada, Shambhu, Kapila, Mano, and Prahlada Maharaj. Prahlada Maharaj is our Guru in the disciplic succession. So, Mahajana Jina Gatasya Pantha, Dharmasya Tattanga Nihitam Guhaya, Mahajana Jina Gatasya Pantha. We cannot chalk out what is the path of religion. It is very difficult to find out because there are many different scriptures and there are many philosophers. Nasu Munijjasya Matam na Bhinnam. Each philosopher has got different opinion. So how to get real path of religious way? That is recommended in the Shastra, that Mahajana Jina Gatasya Pantha. You have to follow the footsteps of great personalities, and Prahlada Maharaj is one of them. So, Prahlada Maharaj was born in a demon's family. His father was a demon. Prahlada Maharaj used to address his father as Asura Varja, the best of the demons. You have seen, he was patting his son, my dear son, do like this, do like that. Tell me what you have learned, the best thing. Prahlada Maharaj said, Tat sadhu manne asura varja dihina. The demon never said, my dear father, my dear, the best of the demons. Tat sadhu manne, I think that is very nice. What is that? Ityatma ghatam grihanda kupam vanangato jad hrima sreta. That this worldly life, materialistic life, is self-killing just like a dark well. So one should give it up and go to the forest and take shelter of Krishna. That is the best way of life. So his father became very angry. So the atheist and the theist, they will never agree. But theist also never will submit to the atheist. This is the principle. Prahlada Maharaj was put into so many troubles by his father, but he never forgot chanting Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Namo. He never forgot. So we should take lessons from this story that even in dangerous position, we should not be forgetful of Krishna. Krishna will save us. It is said in the Bhagavad Gita, Jangalabdha chaparangalabhanga mannate nadhikanga tataha jasmin sthite gururapi dukkhena na vichalat. Krishna consciousness is so nice that if one gets Krishna consciousness, Jangalabdha, chaparangalabham, aparangalabham, any other benefit or gain is never considered. This is so nice. We are hankering after getting this, that, so many things. They. But as soon as you get Krishna consciousness, you will be satisfied. As Dhruva Maharaj said, Shamin Kitathosmi Barangana Jaj. Just like Prahlada Maharaj. He was offered all benediction, my dear Prahlada. Whatever you like, you can ask. He never asked anything. But he was so kind. That is the example of a Vaishnava son in the family. Despite so much troubles given by his father, still he begged from Narasimhadeva, my Lord, my father has committed so many offenses, kindly give him liberation. He did not ask anything for himself. So, Narasimhadeva immediately said, why do you speak of your father? Your father's father, his father, 14 generations all liberated. Because a son like you is in this family. So, this is the benefit. If a son becomes a pure Vaishnava, devotee, he can deliver 14 generations. That is a special prerogative, because he is born in a certain family. So, what we can give service to the family, nation, materially. If we become devotee, we can give best service to the nation, to the family, to the humanity. That is the philosophy. So, our Krishna consciousness movement is preaching this philosophy that you take to Krishna consciousness, your life will be perfect. And the method is very simple. It can be, there is no secrecy. Just this evening I was talking with a boy. He has got a mantra, very secret. But we say we have no secret mantra. Our mantra, Hare Krishna, is open to everyone. Why it should be secret? If by chanting Hare Krishna mantra, we can approach God, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, why it should remain secret? It should be distributed like anything so that everyone can go. So there is no secrecy. Secret mantra we don't approve. It must be very open. There is no secret. The Shastra never said the mantra can be secret. Hare Nama, Hare Nama, Hare Nama eva kevalam, kalau nasti va nasti va nasti va gadadanda. In this age of Kali, Kali means the age of quarrel, age of misunderstanding, age of disagreement. So in this age, it is very difficult to come to the right conclusion by philosophy and other methods. Therefore, in the Shastra, it has been openly declared, Hare Nama, Hare Nama, Hare Nama eva kevalam, kalau nasti va nasti va nasti va gatirannatha. Three times mean Jagadana Tapakriya. There are many other things. Meditation, sacrifices, worship in the temple. So, in this age, all these things are impossible to be performed. But even a child can chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra. That is proved here. Whenever there is Hare Krishna Mahamantra, even the child can take part, old man can take part. So this is the only method for God realization. There is no expenditure, but the gain is very, very great. That was the teaching of Sri Prahlada Maharaja, and we are following his footsteps. Let us stick to his principle, Mahajana Jina Gatasa Pantha, and thus become more and more advanced in Krishna consciousness. Thank you very much. Vandeham Sri Guru